श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम ओम मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्त कौमुदीयं विरच्यते औच हायवारनाथ चटतौ कपै श सर हल इति माहेश्वराणि सूत्राणि சு ஔஜஸ் அம் அவ்வளோதான். அப்போ ஸோ we were here 16th page in तुल्यास्य प्रयत्नं सवर्णं सूत्र. ननु तुल्यास्य सूत्रे प्रयत्नशब्देन प्रशब्दबलात् आभ्यन्तरप्रयत्नम् अपेक्षित इति स्थितम्. So as we saw from the Tattvabodhini Tika, prayatnam, that prayatna refers not to the general effort but the effort that is preceding the general effort. Okay, so internal effort, that is what the idea is. So because of that sutra we understand the pra refers to say abhyantara, vyavartya abhavat, vyavartya abhavat, there is nothing to differentiate. You give an adjective to differentiate it from something, but there is nothing to be differentiated. I don't understand what are you trying to say. Okay, let me explain in simple terms. The effort in producing the alphabet, I want to say a b c d or a e e. In this place, in this sense, a e Sanskrit. Okay, now I want to say a e e. So where should I produce a e e from? From 3 centimeters away from you, 6 centimeters away from you, 12 centimeters. Is there any rule like that? Outside of me, of my mouth, of me means of my mouth, then there is no control whatsoever over that word, that alphabet. Once you have pronounced, you can do nothing. You cannot swallow it, you cannot eat it back, you cannot take it back. So you cannot control after it is released from you. Only if there is an external effort, as you say, why do you have effort is useless. The point of saying it to be internal, external is useless. So he says, don't worry. This is why it is useful. Yatno dvividha iti, in the tika, in the mula, yatno dvividha. Yatno dvividha. What are they? Abhyantaro bahyascha. There are two types. Dvidha, dha, prakara vachani. So two types. What is two types? Yatnaha. The effort is of two types. One is abhyantara, internal. The other is bahya, external. What is internal and what is external? We'll come to that. Okay. Adyas chaturtha. The first one means abhyantara. The internal is of four types. Sprashta, sprishta is sprishta vivrata samvrata bhedat. Like that we chant. But the thing is sprishta, ishat sprishta, vivrata, samvrata. These are the four types of internal effort. Okay. Tatta sprishtam prayatnam sparshanam. The sparsha characters, as you have seen the table in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, in the third page, I think. The third page, there will be a table. Okay. There, this sprashta, varsha, spa, all these will be categorized, and from where, what kind of effort it should be, you should use for pronouncing it will be said there. Okay. Now, that sparsha characters will be pronounced as sprishta, in the form of sprishta. Okay. The effort we use is sprishta. For the ishat sprishtam antasthanam, for the antastha characters, whatever they may be, you use ishat sprishta, internal effort. Okay. Vivrta, vivartam, Ushma Swaranam cha. Ushma and swaras we ach. For that we use Divruta. Okay. Hraspasya varnasya prayoge samvritam. The short is samvrita, though it should be vivrita, it is samvrita during the prayoga, during the application. Prakriya dashayam to vivritam eva. But during the working out, it is during the application of sutras, during usage and during the application. In this way we have understand. During the usage it will be vivrita, samvrita. During the application of the sutras it will be vivrita. Okay. Now, etacha sutrakarena jnapitam. How do you know this? In one situation it will be vivrita, and doing working it out it will be vivrita. How do you know this? For that he says this is reminded. Jnapitam means reminded to us by the sutrakara. He has pointed it out in the sutra. Which sutra? Tatsahi in the sutra. Okay. So we'll come to that before that we'll see what is this in the tika. Yatno divida. यत्नानाम् आभ्यन्तरत्वं बाह्यत्वं च वर्णोत्पत्तेः प्रागूर्ध्वं त्वं विवक्षितमिति पाणिन्यादिशिक्षासु स्पष्टम्. So the yatna, the effort is of two types. One is internal and the other is external. For the varna utpatthe pragurdhvam iti. Varna utpattihi prag. Before the varna is manifest and after it manifests. So in these two stages they are called as internal, external. Before the manifestation it is internal, after the manifestation it is external. Okay. Iti Paninyadi Shiksha Spashtam. This is very clearly explained in Panini Shiksha, etc. Now you have to understand. In yoga, etc., where they talk about the sound production, they say Vaikhari. Vaikhari is the pronounced word, explicitly pronounced word. Before that, they are in different stages right from the nada, bindu. Okay, so from each state it crosses and it comes as a pronounced alphabet. That is Vaikhari. We will not enter into what the other efforts, what the other names and other functions are. Basically, you conceive, there is an idea which is conceived, then it becomes a thought function, then it is transformed into a word, then it is pronounced. Okay, that is how this is the different levels of the pronouncing of a character or a word or whatever. Okay, now of pronouncing, that is not what is explained here. This is according to the Sanskrit grammar. He says before the effort, before the pronouncing and after the pronouncing, before the pronouncing and after the pronouncing, not outside the body and inside the body, before the pronouncing and after the pronouncing. Okay, now patati katham adya iti abhyantara prayatna ityartha. The internal effort. Adya means the internal effort. Katham chaturvidyam ityatha. How do you say it is of four types? Sprishta iti. Kasya kah prayatna iti akanksha. Which should be pronounced in what way? For this doubt, tad vyavasthapaka siksha vachanani patati. The siksha rules in the Panini Shiksha, that is clearly said here. That which defines where, what should be, how it should be pronounced. Okay? Iti patati. Tatra iti. Teshu madhye ityartha. Tatra means saptamyastral. In that place. Where? Among them. Among the the characters. Prayatnanamiti. Prayatnamiti. Prayatnamiti. Prayatna ityartha. Prayatna means prayatnaha. Prayatanam, it is said. It is prayatna, not prayatana. In the mula, it is prayatana. Prayatana means prayatnam. Okay? Ityartha. Sparshadi shabdan agre vyakhyasati. What is sparsha? Sparsha, etc. we will be seeing later. The table form which I said, it will be explained later in the Moola, in the commentary itself, Moola itself. Okay. Now, ह्रस्वस्य अवर्णस्य संवृतत्वम् इत्यतः इति अन्वयः. The hrasva avarna is in samvrta. That is the idea. Etavadeva siksha vachanam. This is what the siksha says. Okay, this is how the siksha said, and it is verbatimly quoted here. Okay. Now, evam danda adhakam ityatra akarasya cha vivrta samvrutva prayatna bhedena savarnya abhavat savarna dirgho na syadityatah. Okay, prakriya dashayam vivrutam. In the prakriya dasha, it is vivrutam. During the application of sutras, it is vivrutam. Only the short the others are, the other ach are in samvrta. Okay, so only the short during the practice or during the application of the sutras, it is a vivruta. All the others are in samvrta. All the other swaras means all the other ach are in samvrta. All the other vowels are in samvrta. Okay, except short Now, danda adhakam, there is a word, danda adhakam. Danda adhakam are Rama agacha. Rama agacha. Or Rama atra. Rama some word. Okay, the idea is we have to danda, the final character is adhakam, the first character is a. So according to the Sandhi rule, the final character of the first word and the first character of the second word should be compounded, concatenated, added. Now, this is done through the sutra. What sutra does it? Akasavarne dirgha. Very good. So, Akasavarne dirgha does the concatenating of these two words. Now, A is during the application of sutra of Akasavarna dirgha, A is a vivruta. A is a samvrta. And Savarna sutra, Akasavarna, only when the Savarna follows, you have to do the dirgha. Whereas A is vivruta and A is samvrta. They are not in Savarna. Only when the Savarna is there, you can do this Akasavarna dirgha, but they are not Savarna because one is pronounced in a different way and the other is pronounced in a different way. For that he says, iti nasyad, Akasavarna dirgha nasyad, dirgha will not take place. For that he says, Shastriya prakriya, prayoge iti, Shastriya prakriya bihi parinishtitanam Ramah, Krishna ityadi shabdanam prayoge kriyamane eva hrasvasya avarnasya samvrutam ityartha. Shastriya prakriya bihi parinishtanam, through the Shastriya prakriya means the grammar rules. The Shastra here is the Vyakarana Shastra. So, in the Vyakarana Shastra, in the grammar Shastra, only during Parinshtanam, those words which are derived, Parinshta means derived through the grammar rules, like Rama, Krishna, etc. Prayoge kriyamani, when you are applying, when you are pronouncing it, Rama, Krishna, etc. Only during that period it is samvrta. Okay? Prakriyati. Prakriya means Shastriya Karya Pravurti Samaye. During the application of the grammar rules, to definitely what happens? Hrasvasya avarnasya vivrutatvam eva ityartha. The hrasva avarna, the short a will be only in vivruta. Only during the prayoga, during the pronouncing of these Rama, Krishna, etc., it will be in samvrta. But during the application of sutras, it will be in vivruta. Okay. but you didn't answer my question. What is the question? This is Vivrta and A is Samvrta. They are not in Savarna. For that he says, Shiksha Shiksha Vachana Siddham Swabhavikam Hrasva Avarnasya Samvrtatvam Prachavya Shastra Moola Bhute Varna Samamnaye Tasya Vivurtatvena Eva Upadishtataya Krishna Shastriya Prakriya Samaye Hrasvasya Avarnasya Vivurtatvam Eva Vivurtatvena Dandadhakamityadau Savarna Dirgo Dirghadikaryam Nirbadhamiti. Uniti Sutra Bhashya Spashtam. Okay. Now what he says is this. Shiksha Vachana Siddham. Through the Shiksha rule, we understood Swabhavikam Hrasva Avarnasya Samvrtattam. Generally, Swabhavikam is natural state. The short Hrasva Avarna will be in Samvrta. That Samvrtatvam Prachavya, falling from that state of Prachavya means falling from that state of Samvrtatva, losing that state of Samvrtatva, Shastra Moola Bhute Varna Samamnaye. The base for the Shastra, which is Varna Samamnaya, the group of sutras which we saw, Maheshwara Sutras. In that Varna Samamnaye, Tasya Vivurtatvena Upadishtataya. It is said as Vivrta. What is said as Vivrta? The is said that is in Vivrta. That is Upadesha. Upadesha means Adya Ucharanam. That is Upadesha in the Maheshwara Sutra. Okay. Therefore, Krishna Shastriya Prakriya Samaye. In all the Shastriya application, during the time of application of all the Shastriya grammar rules, you have to take it as Vivrta only. Vivr iti Rasvasya Avarnasya Vivrtatvena. Since the Rasva Avarna is Vivrta, thus Vivrtatvena, Danda Adakam Ityado, Danda Adakam, etc. In all these places, Savarna Dirghadikaryam Nirbadam. The Savarna Dirgha will be applied without any obstacle, without any problem. Iunityadi Sutra Bhashya Spashtam. Iti Iuniti Sutra Bhashya Spashtam. This is very clearly explained in the Sutra Bhashya of Iun. Okay. Now, Evamcha Hrasvasya Avarnasya Samvritam iti Shiksha Vachanam Parisheshat Parinishtita Dashayam Eva Paryabhisidam iti na tadartham tad anarthakyam iti badha. So then why did Shiksha, if you understand it as Vivrta because of the Maheshwara Sutra, then why did Shikshakara say it is Samvrta? That is useless, right? So, no. In the Parishtita means in the other places, other than the time of applying the sutras, in other places, during all the other usage time, it should be accepted in Samvrta. Therefore, the Shiksha Vachana is not useless. This is understood. Iti bhavaha. Ayam cha Shiksha Vachana Sankochaha Sutrakarasyapi Sammata ityataha. This, but Shiksha very clearly said it should be in Samvrta, Vivrta. Why do you, it should be in Samvrta? Why do you, Sankocha means, why do you shorten it? Shorten the scope of the Shiksha Sutra. No. This is accepted by, this is even accepted by the Sutrakara. This is in accordance with the teaching of the Sutrakara. To show that Tatha he says the next, he starts the next sutra. Before starting next sutra, the Samvrta, etc. These, what is this? Sprishta, Isha, Sprishta, Vivrta, Samvrta. What is this? This is internal effort. Okay. I gave so much of importance during Adi Lagu, Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi, etc. in all these places to the pronunciation. And when I said it should be from the throat. I made you cry because of this and all the other pronouncing, all the other alphabet's pronunciation. But I never told you which way you have to pronounce. The effort should be done internally, because that is impossible to explain and to understand. But a general idea, to give you a general idea of what this Svrishta is, Sprishta, etc., is explained in the Tattva Bodhini Tika. Okay, I am just reading this one paragraph from the Tika. Nabhi Pradeshat prayatna प्रेरितः वायुः प्राणो नाम ऊर्ध्वम् आक्रमन् उरः प्रभृतीनि स्थानान् वहन्ति ततः वर्णस्य तदभिव्यञ्जक ध्वनिर्वा उत्पत्तिः. Okay, what does he say? Nabhi pradeshat prayatna preritah. Nabhi pradesha, from the nabhi, from the navel area. The effort starts from the navel area. This is why the Pandits who chant Veda, who practice Veda, no, they are doing much more greater effort than a person working in a mine. The physical work of plowing the mine or plowing the farm. This is a tremendous work. The body gets heated up because of chanting the Vedas. And that is why they advise to drink handful of ghee, clarified butter. Don't say heart, all these problems. Nothing will affect us. See, now ghee, clarified butter has become costly. So one Mahatma, a great saint of Tamil Nadu, he advised the people who, it is said like that, the people who run the Patashala, even in their own Patashala, the place where they teach Vedas, he advised them to give them a drink in the morning. Though it is a tamasic drink, he said let them have a glass or two of that so that their body does not get affected because of this chanting. They should study Vedas. That Vedas, which is Satvika, will take care of this tamasic effort. Okay? In a good sense, he said that. What is the drink? The drink is a old rice food, cooked rice. Okay, after in the night you eat the rice, and the leftover portion you put it in water and leave it. The next day, what you do is you add some little curd to it and drink it. Okay, so this is a staple food of farmers, etc. in Tamil Nadu. They take one chili or one onion or both along with this. That is their food, staple morning breakfast. It is tamasic, but it keeps the body cold, not heated up. Anyway, the idea is why I am saying all these stories. The Vedas are not like music, singing, etc. You know, when you sing, ooh, like that, you sing only from the mouth, throat area. That's all. When we chant Veda, Agnimele, the sound starts from the nabi, the navel area, from your stomach. The words start from that area and hits the mouth. So it is like your karate. In karate, the first step, they teach kibadachi, a step, and while doing that, they teach you the punching. While teaching you the punch, they will make you to shout ah, and you will be like, oh, like that. It should come from your stomach and all that. Actually, that has nothing to do with karate. Whether you punch without a sound or punch with a sound, the punch is the same. That has nothing to do with karate. It is a psychological warfare. The sound will disturb the other fellow. That is the idea. How can a sound disturb the other fellow? Simple. There was this girl in tennis, women's tennis, Monica or something, during the Martina Navratilova period. Okay, she beat Martina Navratilova and she became number one. Now this girl, she used to shout during each serve or during each hit, and people complained that that is disturbing their focus, and she had to minimalize and stop the sound. Once she stopped the sound, producing that sound, it probably increased the other fellow's focus, or she lost focus. Something happened and she became obsolete in the tennis. She lost the number one position and she retired. Anyway, that sound, it is produced, it starts from the stomach. So, Nabhi Pradeshat Arabhya, that is what he says. It starts from the navel area and it comes to the throat. That is the internal effort. Okay? Tad Abhivaktihi. That only then, when it hits the inner tongue, that is when the sound is produced. The dhwani, the sound or the alphabet is produced. E, U, all that only when the internal tongue is, it is associated with that, that movement of the internal tongue produces the sound, alphabets. Or E, U, all these sounds. There is no proper alphabet, but all these sounds, they are also produced only from that area. Okay, that is why he says dhwani also. Dhwanirva. Okay. Utpattihi. तत्र उत्पत्तेः प्राग् यदा जिह्वायाः उपाग्रमध्य मध्यमूलानि तत्तद् वर्णोत्पत्तिस्थानं ताल्वादि सम्यक् स्पृशन्ति तदा स्पृष्टता. So जिह्वाग्रमध्यमूलानि, Jihva Agra Madhya Mulani, the inner, the tongue, the front portion, the inner middle portion of the end portion. When it touches it, touches what? The place of pronunciation touches these different places of the tongue, then it is called as a sparsha, touching. Therefore, it is called as sparsha. Okay. Ishat yada sprishanti tada ishat sprishta. When it touches very lightly the tongue area, then it is called as a ishat sprishta. Okay. Samipa avasthanat matre samvrita. When it is not touching or it is a slightly gliding over it, it is just related closely to this area, then it is called as a samvrita. Durate vivrta. When it is far away from the tongue area, then it is called as vivrta. Okay. Ata eva. That is why ichu yashanam talvaditva avisheshe api. In ichu yashanam taluhu, the talu is same, but still they are all produced from the talu only. Talu to avisheshe api talu sthanena saha juhvagradinam chavargena ucharane kartavye samyak sparsha. So when cha is pronounced, it is touching the tongue, the different areas of tongue. Okay, whichever area it means. So that is why it is called, along with the talu, the tongue area is touched. Therefore, it is called as the cha is a sparsha. Okay, then yakara, ya, then you say the tongue is not associated in any which way. It does not touch the yakara. That is why it is called as, it lightly touches. That is why it is called as isha sparsha. Shakara Ikarayoho, shakara, ekara, all these does not, it touches from the far away. Therefore, it is called as dure avastitihi iti ityadi anubhavam शिक्षाकारोक्तिं cha anusaran vivaritam. So, see, we ourselves experience this Ichuveshanam Tavlu in this place. And Shikshakara also has said this. Therefore, it correlates and we understand the different places of pronunciation. This is how you have to understand Vivechaniyam. This is how you have to understand. You have to think in this regarding this. Vivara संवारादेस्तु वर्णोत्पत्तेः पश्चात् मूर्ध्नि प्रतिहृते निवृत्ते प्राणाख्ये वायु उत्पद्यन्ते इति बाह्य इति उच्यन्ते. See, vivara and samvara etc. What is the difference is when the effort is put, the murdhini and the upper palate etc. When the sound hits under, it produces the word. It returns back and it produces the word. Varnaha utpadyante iti bahya. That is why it is called as bahya, external. Talvadi तालुवितस्य संकोचः संवारः तस्यैव विकासात् विवारः. The internal area, the internal tongue area, when you shorten it, it is samvara. When you extend it, it is vivara. That is the idea. Okay. Etau cha samvrita vivrita संवृत विवृताख्य आख्यात भिन्नम एव भिन्नम इव. It is as though different from samvrita. Anyway, so the idea is the internal effort, it touches the tongue area etc. different tongue area. That is why it is called as a samvrita vivrita etc. Even though you may not understand what it is, if you want to understand, you have to meditate upon it. Even though you may not understand it, when you pronounce it from that particular place, you cannot miss these areas, the tongue area. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Tathahi, the next sutra. Tathahi a a a a a a. I am not teaching a a e, but that is the final sutra. Okay, I was explaining the sutra in Adilagu. During Adilagu, I explained a story also with regards to this. This is the final sutra in, not Adilagu. This is the final sutra in Siddhanta, Ashtadhyayi 8.4.68. This is the final sutra of Ashtadhyayi. There I said a story that while chanting this, Vyagrapada is a Katyayana. Katyayana is Vyagrapada. And while chanting this, tiger hit him while doing this Ashtadhyayi. A tiger hit him and he cried ah, and he died. Oh, Panini Maharaj. That is a story we say. It's a story, but someone was offended by it. He said, oh, he was, I really pity that he died because of this. It is a story. There's no reality in it. There's no truth to it. Okay. Anyway, there are great siddhas who control lion, tiger, etc., and sit on top of it, etc. That is, we have seen in Shabarimala, the Ayyappa, etc. He is a great siddha. So he sat on his vahana. His vehicle is a tiger. And we see some Buddhist monks, etc. They sit on tiger and they travel. And we see other people who are not monks, but still, due to the love, they reciprocate. But the point here is, if your prarabdha karma is demanding that you be killed by a tiger or lion, you cannot escape it. So don't worry about that. Okay. So that is the sutra. What does that mean? Vivrtam anudya samvrutto तो अनेन व्यवधीयते. विवृतम् अनूद्य संवृतो अत्र अनेन विधीयते. The vivrta and samvrta are explained in this. Asya cha ashtadhyayim sampurnam prati asiddhatvat. This sutra is a asiddha. In asiddha means it is a non-existent in the from the vision of the whole of ashtadhyaya. See, we saw Purvatra Siddham. We will see the next sutra, Purvatra Siddham, where it says for the 7th quarter, the rest 3 quarter is asiddha. They are non-existent. Even among the 3 quarters, the later sutra is non-existent for the previous sutras. Even among the 3 quarters. That we saw. We are going to see in the next sutra again, Purvatra Siddham. So, this sutra being the final sutra exists in both the clauses. Therefore, it is completely non-existent from the vision of all these sutras. Okay? Iti asiddhatvat shastra drishtya. From the vision of shastra, vivrutam asti eva. It is definitely vivruta. Because though it is samvrta, it does not, though it declares samvrta, it is not visualized by, it is not seen by, it is not perceived by any other sutra. For them, they don't exist. Iti tathahi iti tadeva upadayitum pratijanite. For that, establishing that, he is explained the next sutra, tathahi iti. Yatha etat jnapitam bhavati tatha spashtam avavadyate ityartha. So this is reminded in the sutra that is clearly explained here in this sutra. Vyakarana shastrasya idam antimam sutram. This is the final sutra in the Vyakarana Shastra. Dvipadam. This has 2 padas. A. Okay. I didn't explain what and what a is. Generally, I explain what and a is. A is 5th case. A is 7th case. Like that, I didn't explain anything. We'll see why. Tatra in the sutra. A iti prathamam padam. A is the first pada. You know that. A is the first pada and A is the second pada. So what? A is the first padam. Vivrta param. That is vivrta. Okay. One information. Lupta sashtikam. The sashti, it is 6th case, but 6th case is lopa. Okay. This is first. Dvitiyam tu samvrta param. The second A is a samvrta. Okay. And that is a lupta prathama. It is lupta prathama. Prathama is invisible. Here 6th is invisible, there prathama is invisible. Okay. Lopa means invisibility. Tatascha shiksha vachana siddham swabhavikam samvrtattam prachavya varna samamnaye vivritattvena upadishtasya avarnasya samvritah avarno bhavati. So therefore, because of this rule, shiksha vachana siddham swabhavikam samvrtatam prachavya, losing the state of falling from the grace of the samvrtatva, which is its natural state, as said in the shiksha, varna samamanaye vivrittattvena upadishtasya, that which is in the varna samamaya, the Maheshwara Sutra, that which is pronounced in the form of vivrita, avarnasya, for that avarna samvrtah avarna bhavati. That avarna becomes samvrta based on this rule. Iti, there is no doubt. That is what is said in the explanation. Vivrta anudya iti vidhiyate iti. Pratiprasuyata ityartha. Vidhiyata means pratiprasuyata. Vidhiyata means it is established. Means pratiprasuyata. Swing prani prasave is the root word. It is delivered. It is explained. No, fine. Prakriya dashaya api etat sutre kuto na bhavati pravartate ityatah. During the application stage of the sutras also, why it is not seen in this sense of vivrta? For that he says sense of our swabhavika samvrta. For that he says asya chaiti. Asya iti sutrasya. For this sutra, प्राक्तनीं कृत्स्नाम् अष्टाध्यायीं प्रति असिद्धत्वात्. So प्राक्तनीं कृत्स्नाम् अष्टाध्यायीं प्रति, whatever is before, meaning the whole of Ashtadhyayi, with reference to that it is asiddha. Therefore asiddhatvat avidyamanatvat, it is non-existent. Therefore a prakriya dasham during for the sutra is non-existent from the vision of all the other sutras. Therefore during the application of the sutras vivrutatvam asti eva ityanvaya, it is vivrta, there is no doubt about it. ननु प्रक्रियादशायां ह्रस्ववर्णस्य कथं स्वाभाविकात् संवृतात् प्रत्ययः, कथं च विवृतत्वं, कथं वा विवृतत्वं. See, during the prakriya, during the applications period, why it loses its natural state of samvrta and becomes vivruta? Tasya akaradi dharmatvad ityatah, because it is akara, it has the akara dharma. That is the doubt. Shastra drishtya iti asiddhatvam iha na vastava atyanta asattam vikshitam. When we say asiddha, we don't say it is complete non-existent. Then what do you mean? Kim tarhi avidyamanatva aropakam eva. We only say the superimposition of non-existence. It is not completely non-existent. We superimpose the non-existence. That is the idea. एतावता न स्वाभाविकस्य संवृतस्य अवर्णात् प्रत्ययः. Therefore it does not really fall from the state of its natural state of being samvrta, napi vivrutatvam tatya vastavam, and it does not get the state of becoming vivruta. It does not gain the nature of becoming vivruta, and nature cannot be lost, cannot be gained. Therefore prakriyartham vivrtatvasya aropaditi bhavah, we just superimpose the vivrta state during the prakriya, during the application period. That's all. We just superimpose the idea. No, iti sutrasya krishna ashtadhyayi prati asiddhatve kim pramanam ityatah. Krishna, not krishna. Krishna means complete. The sutra is completely for the whole of Ashtadhyayi. It is a asiddha, you said. It does not really exist, you said. What is the pramana for that? For that, tathacha sutram. There is a sutra. What is sutra? Purvatra siddham. Purvatra siddham. Purvatra siddham. Two padas. Purvatra asiddham. Purvatra saptamyastral. So therefore understand it as saptami. Don't. Purvatra, paratra, etc. are avyaya. They are indeclinables. Okay? Though there is tra, it is not seventh case. Okay? 0, 0. And asiddham is 1, 1. Okay? 0, 0, 1, 1. Two padas. Adhikara. This is Adhikara Sutra. Sutra number is 8 to 1. From 8 to 1, it starts and goes till the final sutra of the Ashtadhyayi. Okay? So we will see what this sutra explains tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.